Good evening, friends. We start tonight with international recognition that the Islamic State is on the verge of defeat. Russian President Vladimir Putin is now pushing for a peaceful political solution in Syria. During a summit in Sochi, President Putin spoke with Presidents Rouhani of Iran and Erdogan of Turkey. The three agreed to hold future talks on the political future of Syria. Manila Chan has been following the story and brings us the details tonight. Manila?
Ed, this was certainly a power broker meeting, if I ever saw one. Vladimir Putin, Hassan, Rouhani, and Recep Tayyip Erdogan together in one room discussing the future of Syria. Now, a peace settlement may be in the works to finally draw Syria's 6-year civil war to a close. President Putin says that this will require the Assad government in play here to pave the way for a settlement that will likely leave Bashar al-Assad in power for the foreseeable future until a reformed constitution has been set. This comes after he hosted Bashar al-Assad in Sochi on Monday and had an hour-and-a-half-long phone call with President Donald Trump. Listen to what the key players had to say today.
Large-scale military actions against terrorist groups in Syria are coming to an end. I'd like to note that, thanks to the efforts of Russia, Iran and Turkey, we have managed to prevent the dissolution of Syria, stop it from being captured by international terrorists, and avoid a humanitarian catastrophe.
Our joint efforts over the last 11 months have helped to prepare the ground for a political settlement to the Syrian crisis. And our meeting today symbolizes the start of a new stage in this process.
This trilateral meeting today has utmost importance as the final stage in putting an end to the bloodshed in Syria. We have achieved success thanks to the union of Iran, Turkey and Russia.
Now, looking forward, President Putin led the conversation, urging the leaders of Iran and Turkey to join him in discussions on the reconstruction of Syria. He cited that the collaboration on the de-escalation zones were successful in reducing levels of violence in Syria and allowed for hundreds of thousands of civilians fleeing ISIS and the civil war a place of safety and humanitarian aid while awaiting the opportunity to go back home. Calling it the National Dialogue Congress, he asked Rouhani and Erdogan to return to Sochi in December to begin that process. Now, President Trump was given a heads up on all of this yesterday in that 90-minute chat with Putin. No word yet what role the U.S. will play, if any, in this rebuilding process, Ed, or even if there will be a cessation of at least verbal hostilities from the Trump administration, namely from the rhetoric coming from Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Ed.
Well, for years, the United States has been saying Assad has to go, and I guess today we found out for sure he's not going anywhere. Thanks, Manila.